All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Business here on CentralValleyTalk.com. I'm Mike Scott. Thank you for tuning in today. We have a busy show. We're going to start with the Association for Play Therapy. And just before we went on, I was starting to learn a little bit about it. It's a national organization based here in Fresno.
Yes.
We're going to learn more now from Kathy Levy and Dr. Claudia Vega. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you.
All right, the Association for Play Therapy. Kind of tell me what that's all about.
It is a nonprofit association founded in 1982 by two child psychologists who were interested in play therapy, which is a type of therapy used with children who don't have the cognitive ability yet to use talk therapy. Made up of mental health professionals across the United States and in, 15 countries, I believe.
Wow.
We have about 6,300 members, and our home is right here in Fresno.
So it started here and just grew from there?
It actually started with two psychologists in New Jersey, and one of them took a job here at the California School of Professional Psychology, moved the office here, and it's grown ever since. And he had a student assistant. Now there's 5 full-time employees and 6,300 members.
That's pretty good, pretty good. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what play therapy is.
Why don't you go
Doctor.
ahead? Yes.
Well, play therapy is a mode of therapy that is very useful for children because it uses their natural language in order to process whatever trauma they're going through.
All right. Kids play naturally, so where does the therapy come into it?
The therapy piece comes in because the therapist is trained to use play therapeutically. So it's not just the same as when you're playing with your children or observing kids playing naturally. They make an environment for the child that they're able to be themselves. So if we're talking about child-centered play therapy, which is a very popular model of play therapy, then the therapist provides a home away from home, if you will, with play material, and the child plays however they want to with that material, and it creates for them an opportunity to be themselves, to like themselves, and to work out whatever problems they have. And if you're more of a directive type of a therapist and you want to direct the play a little bit more, again, you make it a homey place for them with lots of different toy materials available, sand tray, the houses, little miniatures, and the child is able to work out whatever trauma or issues they're going through, and the therapist helps them by providing that material that's going to elicit the trauma or issues at play, and they work it out that way.
Are these children that have been abused, or what kind of children are in this program?
Anybody can benefit from play therapy. Children that have gone through natural disasters, school shootings, children that are trying to work out divorce in their family, abandonment, the loss of a loved one, of a pet, anybody that's
Anxiety, bullying, any childhood trauma or issue.
Okay. How are those kids referred to you? How do they find you?
We are actually a membership association, and we have a directory on our website of play therapists and then registered play therapists. To become registered, you meet an additional set of criteria, academic and clinical experience, and then we have a directory for all over the United States and internationally. You can find a therapist in your area. So we have about, in the Fresno and Central Valley area, we have about 17 registered play therapists, I believe, and about 35 members.
Okay. But I mean, I've never heard of play therapy before,
Yeah.
so how are you spreading? Well, I guess being on today, we're spreading the word, but do you advertise much, or how do you get the word out about what you do?
We do not advertise much. Interestingly enough, most clinical professionals who work with kids probably use some sort of play therapy, but don't call it play therapy and don't specialize in it. Not many people work only with kids. So if they're a marriage and family therapist or a psychologist or social worker, they might see marital couples, adolescents, all kinds of other things. So they use play therapy in a small portion. Most of our members use play therapy primarily. So 6,300 members, but there's probably tens of thousands who actually use play therapy.
Do you use Legos and you mentioned
They
the
do.
sandbox, and
Yeah.
what else do you use?
Well, gosh, there's so many things that you could use. You could use
Puzzles.
dolls.
Puzzles?
Games.
Yeah, now that we're into the social media stuff and the internet, there's games that the children can play. And we have providers. If you go on our website, you can see the names of our providers and people that advertise with us that provide play therapy material for our therapists and those interested in play therapy.
Okay.
And when you talked about advertising, we do have a video. We're
Oh, yeah.
delving in a little bit more. I'll have Kathy.
We have
tell
it
you.
here, right?
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Andrew, how was school today?
Well, it was a very frustrating day. Tommy was teasing me about my haircut, and that was embarrassing. As a way of coping with my embarrassment, I became angry. I'm ashamed to admit it, dear mother, but I could not resist striking Tommy with my fist. While this act of emotional release did offer a moment's respite from my embarrassment, the victory was short-lived. The next thing I knew, Tommy had immobilized me with a headlock and gave me what is referred to colloquially as a swirly.
This isn't how kids communicate, but they do communicate in other ways. Play is a child's first language. When a child plays, they express thoughts and feelings that would otherwise remain hidden. That's why play therapy can be a powerful tool for addressing a child's cognitive, behavioral, and emotional challenges. Licensed mental health practitioners use play therapy to help children process their experiences and develop more effective strategies for managing their world. To learn more about play therapy and registered play therapists, visit a4pt.org.
Oh.
I really just need a chocolate milk on the rocks and a long soak in the tub.
Actually, chocolate milk on the rock sounds pretty good right about
Yeah.
now. Okay, so kids usually play with other kids. When they sit down and play with an adult in a structured environment, you can get something out of them that way?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Yes. When I'll tell you a little bit about a case I had.
Okay.
No identifying information or anything, but I had a little guy. He was about 2.5 years old, and his mom brought him in. The parents were separating, and she had noticed some behavioral changes in him, some bedwetting and some issues with aggression. And I'm more of a directive play therapist, and so I used 2 doll houses with this little guy, and he was able to play out some themes that he was experiencing in his life. He had no words for them, and so he used the toys to be his words to try to tell adults what he was going through. And with that play material, he was allowed to play it over and over again until he was able to have a corrective experience, or one where he felt understood and loved, and that this change would be okay, even though it was happening and he didn't 100% get it. The thing that was stable was the love that both parents had for him.
Okay. So hopefully his bedwetting was
Yes.
taken care of?
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. All right, the Association for Play Therapy. If you'd like more information, where can folks go?
www.a4pt.org. We're in Willow and Ashland, our national office, and welcome to stop by and get more information. We, as a member, you get quarterly newsletters, magazines, or journal with clinical research in it and stuff. So a lot of information available.
All right. Kathy Levy, Dr. Claudia Vega, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
We'll be back with more on CentralValleyTalk.com.